Hello, everyone. This goes directly to all the manufacturing associations in the United States and around the world. My name is Daryl Guberman. I'm the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. Before we continue with this Seussical poem that shows without a doubt that Boeing should be taken to task along with federal agencies, you cannot leave them behind. There's a workaround and we have it, so don't worry about it. All these, I will give you a for instance. April 17th, 2024, I stood up in Congress. Those two pieces of paper which Boeing took down in January of 2025, you used to be able to get them from the supplier portal that they have, that they even call out ANSI-ANAB as the required registration company. One of those is from July 2002. 7 months after 9/11, they came out with these supplier bulletins, one for NADCAP for special processes, heat treat welding, by the Performance Review Institute, where they have a Mr. Doug Ackerman who's sitting there on the board doing the same old song and dance in quality, all right? Terrible. The other one is about AS9100 certificate. They mandate that you have to be AS9100 and be ANSI-ANAB accredited. This is where it gets bad. Miss Elizabeth Lund, VP of Quality in 2024, stated this, because Boeing was never certified to AS9100, but they mandated it, manufacturing associations, they mandated it for your members. In 2024, Boeing's VP of Quality, Miss Elizabeth Lund, finally admitted, we're willing and prepared to obtain AS9100, but after 2 decades of non-compliance, ladies and gentlemen, willingness is not redemption, it's admission of failure. So you have 8,300 planes flying around with heat treatment and everything else for 22 years, and they accepted a certificate. They said, send in your certificate, send in your parts for both the NADCAP and the AS9100, and we don't have to come out to visit, only if need be or need arises, and we're getting rid of redundant inspections. In October 2003, they came up with Heads Up 22, ANSI-ANAB did, and they stated in here the OASIS database, the online aerospace systems information system, where everybody is recorded so that Boeing still and other aerospace companies don't have to go there. They just type it in on a computer, Joe's Machine Shop, AS9100, ANSI-ANAB, we can use them. Send in your cert, send your parts, we're good to go. That's basically it. But in this, they said you cannot refuse to be put on the online aerospace systems information system website or refuse to pay database fees, and that was run by the International Aerospace Quality Group. That's a problem. You also have sitting on ANSI-ANAB's board, 990 tax firm, the Department of Commerce, Homeland Security, Department of Justice, and U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Actually, it's FDA actually on there. So. And the USDA does sit there as a member as well, but not a paying customer like those federal agencies are. Once again, this goes to the manufacturing associations. Boeing screwed you all for 22 years. Did you have a ball? AS9100 suppliers around the world, from Daryl Guberman, in a land full of rivets, of torque guns and glue, lived thousands of shops, maybe ones just like you. You followed the rules, kept your documents straight, and waited for Boeing to open the gate. You paid all the fees and you danced every dance. You welcomed the audits, you gave them a chance. You thought this is fair, I've earned my way. With AS9100 cert hanging, I'm ready to win. But Boeing, dear Boeing, had tricks up their sleeve, a secret so rotten you just won't believe. For 22 years while you all got checked, they stayed non-certified. You were misled and wrecked. Back in 2002, they issued a call. Suppliers get certified, AS91 and all. But behind the bold border, behind the grand name, Boeing never got certified. They just played the game. So they said we align, we comply, yes indeed. But that was a mask to distract and mislead. But ANSI-ANAB's blessing and the old seal, they faked it and framed it as if it were real. Let's peek at the source of this shaky parade from ANSI-ANAB's own site, where the rules were displayed. Is your cert accredited? The answer is probably. Now, what kind of nonsense is that industry hobby? Would you board a plane if the captain declared, we're probably fueled it and maybe prepared? And off to the side sat IAF, International Accreditation Forum, which was founded by ANSI-ANAB. It's a association, just like ILAC is, International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, Association of Accreditation Bodies, national and international, equivalent in accreditation to ANSI-ANAB, who are also underwriters. They take full legal responsibility for any sort of failure in the system or product. And off to the side sat the IAF, with a chair from the CCP, not a myth, not a jest, from 2015 to 21. China's red flag waved over everyone. They certified Wuhan, they blessed labs of doom, while you got inspected for the dust on your broom. While your shop was measured for audits and specs, they passed over approvals with real no checks. Every forensic lab, there's no rule, they'd sigh. The VP of Quality for Laboratory Certification said under oath, not a lie. There's no shared standard, she said with a grin. Just suggestions and guesses. No one has to win. And then there's Constep, so polished and proud. They wear Department of Commerce shroud. The NIST-MEP Manufacturing Extension Partnership arm in all 50 states, each one pulling funds from our federal plates. They say we help business, but here's the real math. 64.85% goes down the bath. That's payroll, that's bonuses, management gains, while they sell you fake logos and long-winded claims. And all through the network from Maine to LA, they tell you to certify or get out of the way. One business owner said it. His tone was quite grim. You got to pay your dues if you want to get in. Buy your ticket, he said. It's a rigged little race. No pushback allowed, just fall into place. And many did just that. They followed the dance, never once giving truth a fighting chance. So now what you hold, with your head held high, is a certificate, probably a bureaucratic lie. You trusted the game, you followed the call, but Boeing screwed you for 22 years, y'all. They skipped the audits, they mocked every rule, while you polished your certs and looked like a fool. So here's the cold truth without sugar or gloss. Real quality's gone, and you took the loss. It's time to stand up and call out this scam, because probably valid is worse than a sham. With respect and truth, Daryl Guberman, founder of Guberman PMC LLC, the only true accredited certification body, not ANSI-ANAB. They worked in tandem with Boeing. Real certification is not probably good, it's provably good. Provably. My number is 203-556-1493. And this goes to the manufacturing associations in the United States and the world. You can't make this up. It's probably a shock to you. ANSI took over complete control over ANAB in 2018. They're underwriters. They take legal responsibility. And how do you like Boeing? They took their stuff down that I held up in Congress on April 17th. They took it down January because any good attorney who's got any worth of weight, when an organization puts this out to their suppliers and they themselves are not complying with AS9100 for 22 years, yet their suppliers are paying big bucks. And ladies and gentlemen, Manufacturing Association members, $9 billion over the term of 22 years everybody spent on these certifications that are basically worthless. Probably? What kind of shit is that? And it is. I look forward to hearing from you. I do this to announce this because I'm a Boeing shareholder. I was out there in October of 2024 at Everett, Renton, Auburn, and Northfield. I know what's going on. The truth. Kelly Oberg doesn't know because he only has yes men and women. Look at Elizabeth Lund. We are now getting AS9100, but she was there for 30 plus years. Another incompetency. And I told them, and I'll tell you, if you don't hear Guberman out at Boeing, do not fly, call a travel agent, and go on an Airbus. My number is 203-556-1493. You know, that's why they haven't come after me legally yet. Because I'm telling the truth. They're scared to open up this scab. I thank you.